like 2011 to like 2015, 2016. And then I came back, you know what I'm saying? I went back home for a little bit and then came back out here. Yeah.
Now let
That's
me ask
official.
you this, man. Is it different living on the coast?
Hell yes. The weather. I never do another winter again.
That's what it is,
Shit
man. I'm
like
originally from Ohio.
paradise.
I can't go back to the snow,
Yeah, the
man.
weather like paradise out here, man.
Yeah, that weather back east gets very
Brutal.
tricky and brutal, and it's unpredictable, man. Shit, you be looking for them sunny days and shit. Like here in Cali, like nigga, it's finna be sunny for the next month.
Exactly.
Nigga, on the East Coast, nigga, you get the motherfucking thunderstorm come through, tornado coming up the coast, all kind of shit, man. The weather is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really unpredictable, man. So you got your start off, correct me if I'm wrong, you got your start off in the game with Busta and them, right?
Yeah, I did.
With Flip Mo, how you run across them cats?
You know, I'm from Long Island, so me and Busta's younger brother went to school together. So, you know, he knew I was nice. So, you know, he told his older brother, he's like, yo, I got this nigga in my school. This nigga's nice, da-da-da. You know, boom, and you just end up making a connection.
And it just happened like that. Cause
Yeah.
Busta, man, Busta got a whole bunch of hits in this catalog, don't he?
Oh, definitely.
Damn sure do.
Now let me ask you this, man, because when you with a dude like Busta, I know a lot of people say that you should never sign with another artist.
Yeah.
Busta has never really had an artist that took off from his camp. Like, you know, he had Spliff. He had some dudes that put some records out, but he had a whole bunch of heat over there.
Yeah.
What you think went wrong with him?
Man, I mean, I can't
Not-
say
you know,
some
this
people
ain't the
did
blame-
take off because, you know, you got Rod Digger.
Yeah, Rod Digger
got
did her thing.
movies. She
Yeah.
wiggled a little bit, you know what I'm saying? She did
Rod
her
Digger
thing.
definitely, she definitely wiggled.
Yeah,
yes.
she wiggled. You know, but then later on, he ended up signing OT Genesis.
Yeah,
So he
OT
got some
Genesis
cats
had
that
records.
pop. You know, he got a few cats that pop. But as far as everybody else, like when I was there with Flip Mode, Busta was at the height of his career. So it's hard for an artist to like walk you through the business when they're at the height and they got so much momentum.
Right.
You got to wake up in the morning and handle the Busta Rhymes business. That's a big enough business. And I was just with him, just soaking up game. I wasn't even really expecting to become a big artist under him. I just knew this was like an internship. That's how I
Definitely.
looked at it. You know what I'm saying? I looked
Yeah.
at it like an internship.
Because
You
it definitely is a
gotta
plus.
be careful when you signing the other artists.
Yeah.
You know, not that they're not looking out for your interest, but it's hard to control that situation when you're still like, I'm coming off the bench. This nigga's still in the game playing. You get me? And I'm expecting to build up my playing time, you know, my minutes.
right.
But it's hard to build up my minutes when the star of the team is still the star of the
ball.
team.
Yeah, he's
You
still
get
shooting
me?
the ball.
Gotta get all the
Yeah,
shots.
my niggas like, they might put me on the floor every night, every other night,
Yeah.
but my niggas still taking all the major shots.
And I
so
gotta say, at that time, if you could have a basketball analogy, Busta was definitely Kobe or LeBron at that time.
Exactly.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because he coming with some
and
hit
like I
record
said,
bangers,
you
know?
the draft pick.
That's a fact.
So you coming off the bench, you get me? And the record label, you know, is the coach, and they like, we might give you 5 minutes tonight, or we might let you open up tonight, but you know, the star is still, you know, while you still waiting to take your publicity pictures and go on that little run, you know, in the G League,
Busta's competitive.
nigga, he's still playing.
He's competitive. So it's like even the artists under him, when you get on a track with Busta, he's still trying to bust your ass. And he don't care if because you his artist. Busta getting on the song, he want to outshine your ass. So, but one thing I gotta
It's hard
say
to
about
compete with
Busta
that.
though, if you know anybody that's under him, he believe in him and he will scream your name from the mountaintop. Like with his platform and who he is, and Busta love you and he behind you, he will scream your name from the mountaintop.
Man, he's definitely one of my favorite dudes. You know how they always say, don't meet your heroes?
Yeah.
He's definitely one of the dudes that I met out on the road with my homie High C. Shout out to Crawford. Just cool as hell. And I noticed that, you know how you go on tour and you see each other like at dates, he might not be at the next one, but you see him at the next one, he would always, what's up, brother?
Yes.
You know what I mean? He always just like recognizes a good cat, man. One of the things I was gonna tell you, you know they got a sound now that's called the Griselda sound. And it's not to start no controversies. I love Griselda.
Yeah.
But I think you was kind of like the first one to kind of come with that. When everybody was doing the New York drill stuff,
Yeah.
you kind of was one of the ones that kept it like true to what New York does.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, it is what it is. They, you know, they know because they came to me to get the sauce early. You know what I'm saying? Like, they first video that popped off, they got like the first million was a feature with me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the time, you know, they was coming up. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of brother, I feel like if you nice, I'll fuck with you.
Exactly.
You know, I don't feel like competition doesn't intimidate me. I know who I am. So, you know, and I know what I bring to the table. So, as far as like, you know, when I was first starting the whole grind, I didn't think it was gonna pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see like later on that I would still be doing this. When I put out my shit, it was like a last ditch effort because the game was so far away from what I do
Right.
at the time. So it was just like, I'm gonna just get my shit off real quick and I'm gonna do it my way because I felt like even when I was with Busta, I felt like I tried the industry way already. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it like niggas from Hempstead do it. I'm gonna bring my shit to the table. You know what I'm saying? I don't want beats from this nigga. I want beats from myself. I know how niggas from my hood sound and I want to bring that shit to the table. So that's, you know what I'm saying?
And it worked for you.
Yeah, it worked for me.
You know, authenticity, that's what I tell artists, being authentic to who you are.
Yeah.
Because this man already, right here, this man already legendary. It's not going to work you trying to do him because his fans already mess with him. It's not going to work with you trying to be who Snoopy is.
That's right.
You got to do what you is doing. And what I equate your situation to, it's like, because I talk to a lot of the homies in New York, right? And they really love West Coast rap, but they don't want to hear a derivative of it. They really want to hear the bum, 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 you know, in the funk.
Right.
They want to hear, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's what you did for New York.
Yeah, I mean, even with that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have my debates with some of my West Coast brothers, like, when we talk about it, boom, 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 boom. To me, that's, where I'm from, that's EPMD.
Exactly.
Yeah, for
You know,
real.
that's
Yeah,
EPMD.
EPMD for
so
sure.
I felt like we had a good, like, Long Island niggas, I felt like we had a good hand also in the gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh, definitely. We talked about that on the show. I don't know if you saw that one, but we talked about it on the show. EPMD, definitely.
That was my motherfucking
specifically
heroes.
Long
That's what I'm
Island. You know,
saying.
specifically Long Island, because I know, you know, Public Enemy, all that shit from my town. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So when Cube left NWA, he recorded in 510 Studios, which is in Hempstead.
Right.
That's the Bomb Squad and all them niggas. So that's where I did my first demo at. So I felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like we always had a sound where I'm from. So that's why I was trying to
Y'all
come from with
definitely
my
had a
shit.
hand
Yeah,
in
you win
gangsta
with
rap.
that though. When you stick to your elements and don't worry about what other niggas is doing, you know. Especially when you come into the industry shit, you feel you gotta bend a little bit just to get in that door. And sometimes that shit don't work. And you just gotta, you know, that's why I've never worried about the position my shit played. Because of course you could have jumped on another lane and tried to go, you know, where other niggas was going if you looked at it as I just gotta get paid, man, and make some money. But I always felt like originality was my key. So regardless of if niggas was doing this type of shit or everybody was trying to, man, I'm gonna just do shit that I know niggas in my hood or in the hood surrounding, you know, because Compton was a big hood. You feel me? So let me just stick to what I know niggas around the corner like and niggas down the street like and maybe even the enemy like. You get me?
And that'll always go work because that's what he did, that's what you did.
That's right.
You said, I'm going to go back here. And I noticed that people always wind up, I think everybody, because I manage a rapper named Glasses Malone too. And that's what he always talk about when he recorded his first album. He said, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know music. I just knew to go to tune and this person, that person. But I always felt like it wasn't authentic to who I was. It was working and it was wiggling, but it wasn't who I was.
Yeah. I mean, that's important, man. I mean, when it's not coming from, you know, your heart, I think people could see it. It's like when it's like even when you're doing a show, people could see when you're not enjoying yourself, you know what I'm saying, or you're not confident. I feel like it radiates off of you, you know what I'm saying? So when you just stick to your guns, I think that just works just for those reasons right there. 'Cause people could see the authenticity, you know what I'm saying? They could see that it's honest.
Yep, and right now, man, what, you 10 plus years in, ain't you?
10 plus years. I'm like 20 in this
Yeah,
motherfucker.
like 20 plus.
I'm like 20 in this. Yeah.
Damn, time go fast, man.
I'm like
Time
20
go
in
fast
this.
as a motherfucker,
Yeah,
dog.
I'm like 20 in this, yeah.
And you said you never foresaw it going this long?
I didn't, man. I dead ass. When I made my first solo album and I put it out, you know, for a second it was like quiet. Wasn't nothing happening. And next thing you know, it started to pick up like a year later, and people was like, oh, okay, cool. They might be fucking with this. So it was a slow burn. You know, even up to now, like people still discovering me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, I'm in it for the long haul. It's a passion.
I think sometimes that's a good aspect though. You know, sometimes niggas come in and I always use the analogy of, you know, sometimes it takes some of us a different road to get to that, you know, wherever we feel is acceptable to us. You get me? Some niggas put out a record and tomorrow nigga shoot to the moon, but then 2 years later niggas is like, what happened to that nigga?
You see a lot of people like that had big records, big massive records.
It's even I feel I'm in that motherfucking class of, cause it's some niggas today, you can go, you know MC Eiht, and they'll be like, nah, who was that? You feel me? And then you show them some shit, and they be like, oh, that's that nigga. It's the slow climb. You get me? But it's what enables you to have that longevity.
That's right.
You get me? Because motherfuckers is still, like you said, it's motherfuckers still checking for my nigga. You get me? Right. And they like, oh, goddamn, I never heard of this motherfucker. This shit hard as a motherfucker.
And when you first came in, you came in with the physical era. I always like to ask an artist, man, how do you feel about the whole streaming thing?
I'm kind of on the fence about it because I just feel like they not paying us fairly. I don't feel like the splits, they didn't figure that out, you know, but if you're making quality music and people, you know, are fucking with it, you got to look at it. I look at it like real estate, you know what I'm saying? Every project is like a piece of real estate. All right, cool, this album might not be one of the better ones, but, you know, this makes me this much a month. This one was a killer. This one makes this much a month. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at them like real estate. So, you know, with the streaming, it's cool, but that's why I started to, like when I first started to come back after my second win, I started putting my shit up digital downloads. I was doing like 40 for a digital download. So I kind of got that block hot, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, my fans was fucking with it because I just looked at it like, you know what? The money in streaming wasn't sustainable yet because I didn't build up a big enough catalog for it to make me any money. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it up for like 40 a digital download, and my fans ate it up, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt like you can't tell me that my album is not worth a bag of weed.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Punk-ass dollars. You spend $100 on your sneakers, $200 on your sneakers.
I think
My
that's the
album
new
gonna live
model.
with you forever.
Oh, definitely.
That's the model right
Definitely
there.
the new model.
You know,
gotta
putting your album up as a digital download, $40, $50. I told him, you know, for example, like, you know, shout out to Stizzy, they hooked, you know, Eiht up with the box, right? I said, man, we need to do a program with them, man, where we put a CD up in that same box and have, you know, you go do in stores. You know, it's better, you know, if you sell 2,000 of those at $200, $300 a pop,
Exactly.
and you putting your album on, have it on the streaming platforms. But I know me as a core fan, if I see my favorite gangster rappers, the MC Eights of the world, the Scarfaces, the Q.
And I smoke weed too. Oh yeah, that's the perfect combination.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I was gonna get the CD or download the shit or whatever, and I'm finna go get me some weed. So I'm
Now
gonna
they can
spend
smoke that shit in there and they can
I was
listen
gonna
to their
spend that. You know, I something else too. I'm gonna say we got to do with that.
Need us, pay us, man. If you
Something
need
else
us,
we
pay
can
us.
do with that and really have it like set off?
That'd be hard, man, because I noticed, man, that you go to the non-traditional route, and that's just more lucrative because I'm starting to discover it's a community of people, man, that's really out here making their ends. They making their bag and they doing it their way. They don't have to compromise their stuff. How does they treat you? You do a lot of stuff over in Europe?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go back at next month. I'm going back over there.
What's your favorite spot over there?
So far, damn, it's been between Portugal and Spain.
Okay.
Spain is off the hook. I always like London, man. For some reason, man, like,
Oh yeah, I can't forget London.
I don't been out to London.
Sometimes I forget that.
London got a certain culture to it. You know, they
I
got
just
the,
left from over there
yeah,
too.
they got the East Indian. And I tell people, don't go over there acting the fool. They with it over in London.
Oh yeah, nah, hell no, you can't play with them.
You know, London don't play no games.
Yeah, you can't
A
play with
lot
them.
of them spots, man. Germany, London, like there's a lot of cats, man. Especially over, you know, I just left from over in Europe. I probably went to what, about 7 different countries while I was over there. Yeah. Hardcore fans, they appreciate.
I noticed
what a nigga do.
that's the thing, man. Over here in the States, I feel like it'd be a cat that's come to a ROC Marciano show, right? He looking at you. He's a fan of you, but he rap himself.
Right.
So he stand in the crowd like this
Yeah,
because he almost feel like, oh, I'm equal to you. I can't like you because I do the same thing.
yeah,
But over in Europe, they treat you like you Michael Jackson.
yeah. That's a fact. I mean, yeah.
I don't know if I
So
want
big
to.
love.
I don't know if you want to use the term they appreciate it more. It's just a difference. You get me? You know, it depends on who the fan is. You know, here. You know, niggas feel here. You know, you got a certain image to uphold. You know, as far as a nigga off the block.
Motherfuckers just too cool out here, man.
Exactly, nigga. I'm not
Yeah,
going to
it's
a
too cool.
motherfucking show like screaming and rapping the niggas raps and shit, nigga. I can go over there,
Like
nigga.
me, I'm the nigga. If I'm at a Rock Him show, I'm rapping all his words. I'm up front rapping with him
Yeah,
and stuff.
niggas
And I'm
like-
just
I ain't
jamming.
gonna front, bro. I ain't gonna front. My shows be like that. Like,
Niggas looking at you like, look at this
last
big
shit
old
over here.
weirdo up here just
I
rapping.
don't care.
He
I'm
in the
enjoying
front
my-
stage just rapping. Go.
Because the thing
go.
is, if you go to enjoy a show, you pay your ticket. You know, tickets be $200 sometimes. You pay your $200 for your ticket. Music is timeless, and it's a time capsule. It'll take you back to when you were a little kid like me. I'm a Big Daddy Kane, Rakim.
me too.
That's my era right there. So whenever I hear that, whenever I play that, I'm at home making a sandwich. I might be making a sandwich, man. Might be taking out the trash, but I'm vibing because I'm 15 again.
Yeah.
I'm 14 again,
Yeah.
so I enjoy this stuff because music is real infectious and spiritual, bro.
Oh, definitely. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. I don't play with it. I don't
Now,
play with it.
You can't. I tell people, man, like you said, the fans know when shit is not authentic.
Right.
And they know if it's somebody, if I'm rapping along, I don't give a damn about looking like a weirdo. I'm up there jamming, I'm here vibing. I paid my money to come up here. I'm enjoying myself. Most people is too cool. Eiht, I'm telling you, they stand up there like this.
Yeah.
Well, that's the atmosphere because, you know, that might be a nigga who feel like you said, niggas be feeling like, you know, my my affiliation or my street presence doesn't allow me to enjoy some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll notice niggas just hanging the wall, or like you said, arms crossed, not wanting to even. Then why you pay your money to come here, man? Just to stand around and look mean and mad and mean mug and mad. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, fuck
I
all
get
that,
it,
man.
It's just the presence, like you said. When I go overseas, man, they like, man, we don't get this shit over here. And then y'all from the States, you get me? You know, and then they look at it as y'all coming from the place where, you know, hip hop is original and nigga, y'all got the motherfucking Tupacs and the Biggies and y'all got all these motherfucking, you know, that they just celebrate it more, man. You get me?
That might be it right there though too, man. I think when you don't see something as often, it's more endearing to you.
Yeah,
Like, you know, because you figure you in Hempstead, that's like a hip hop hotbeds. You feel what I'm saying? You got legendary stuff out there. So I'm pretty sure when you was coming up, You saw EPMD. You might see EPMD Bell. You might see Eric Sermon dipping down the street.
Absolutely.
And because back then it wasn't a whole lot of money in hip hop. I always laugh when I hear the one You Got to Chill. When my boy Dose, I get 1,000 a show, and he said that with confidence, like I get 1,000 a show.
Yeah.
There's many places, deal with Duke Jackson on a one-on-one basis.
For real.
And even when Biggie, he said 5 G's a show gate. You think Biggie was a huge ass artist, man? He only getting 5,000 a show. You feel what I'm saying?
That was some big money back then too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mind
So,
you, a fire car back then was a $40,000 car.
exactly. So them cats, you saw them cats, they was accessible because they wasn't making the millions of dollars yet to just be gone. They were still accessible. And I think when you see people that kind of take away, like, don't nobody really want to know fuck with Clark Kent. They want to see Superman.
That's right.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Because if a nigga see you in the grocery store, you kind of don't lost your superpowers now. Like, oh man, this nigga just like me. He's sitting on there talking about all the bras he bag and all the money he got, and he's shopping the same place. To some people, that's disheartening on a subliminal level.
I mean, I used to see, these dudes, moving around. I used to see Rakim spinning through in the Benz. Used to see Biz Markie all the time. Used to be in the hood at the Blimpies at a sandwich spot. And Granddaddy IU, he from my neighborhood too. So
Granddaddy
him
IU.
and you. So yeah, so I used to see him over there all the time. So I could actually see these brothers, and it made me like, damn, I could do this shit because I see these people. So I would always see Biz. He'd be at the Blimpie spot, bad bitches, big truck jewelry on and shit. Like that shit was like, wow, man, I could be that.
Who would you say the most? Who would you say influenced your style more? 'Cause you got a lot of MCs coming out of Hempstead, man.
Rakim.
Rakim?
Yeah, I'm a Rakim baby.
Yeah.
I'm a Rakim baby first and foremost. But after that, you got the G Raps, you got the Slick. I saw Eiht sent my style. That's in the pot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even like I look at Compton's Most Wanted kind of like the path I took. Because then when you had everybody was running around, oh, it was NWA, 6 Cubans. I was like, yo, this Compton's Most Wanted shit, though, this is my shit. Even though I love the other shit, but I'm like, this is my style.
Well, you know why I fuck with them? Because I always was a huge hip-hop head. I love hip-hop. I like sampling. I like breaks. That's why I love it now, because they got the shit like track lib to where you can go get the samples and they got the stems and all that in there. So you just like, man, all I got to do, man, I ain't got to try to filter this out no more. I'm taking these horns from here and I'm putting this right here, this broad singing. I can get Aretha Franklin's vocals and have her back there.
Right.
And I only got to pay $200. They putting everything out there right now. I love that era of hip-hop, the creating something from nothing.
Oh, definitely.
Imagine if we had that then.
And that's what I'm
definitely.
saying. And that's
You know what
Compton's
I'm
Most
saying?
Wanted, because when I first heard Compton's Most Wanted, I heard a dude from Compton, but it wasn't the regular stuff. It wasn't, because I like the bam, 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 bam too, but I didn't want to hear that all the time.
I didn't like that. It's not that I didn't like it, is I thought it was typical. You get me? Because that's what made the Easies and the NWAs, and it basically is what cultured our style. The Zapp, the Rogers, the George Clintons. That was used a lot on the West Coast. And I always tell niggas I wanted to be more cinematic with my shit. I didn't want niggas, like, if you was finna ride around on my shit, nigga, you was finna do somebody. Like, I didn't want you riding around on my shit happy and like, yeah, nigga, we had, no.
He was definitely the Stephen King of this
gangster
motherfucker.
Yeah,
shit.
I wanted you to ride around in my shit like the mobsters getting ready to go pull a hit on a nigga. Or, nigga, you in a motherfucking scene in a movie and it's finna get fucking serious and crazy. That's what I always wanted. My shit was always cinematic because, well, the era I grew up in, nigga, the shit was crazy as a motherfucker. And I always used to tell niggas, ain't nothing fun over here. I don't see how niggas riding around thinking life is fun and, partying and shit like, nigga, fuck that shit. That shit ain't happening in real life. Niggas getting shot up every day. Niggas going to jail. Niggas on the corners trying to motherfucking survive.
That was the crack era,
Nigga,
too.
we piecing up on boxes of chicken and 40 ounces and shit.
Right.
You know, in the neighborhood, you know, the 1,000 niggas, man, trying to piece up on a 12 piece and get a couple of 40s and shit. That was real life.
That was what
Niggas
it
was
was.
coming through with the lights off and dumping and shit like that. So I couldn't write songs about, like, you know, there's bitches going down the street and we going to the party and shit like, nigga, I'm like, niggas is finna shoot this motherfucking party up in my record. That's what's finna happen. Or nigga, the battle ram finna come through the front door. While niggas all in here dancing and partying and
by
shit.
Miss Daisy
Yeah,
shit.
niggas finna get shot up around this motherfucker.
You coming from Hempstead in New York, y'all had some serious kingpins. Y'all had like LA had kingpins,
Yeah.
New York had kingpins.
motherfucking
Y'all
right.
had ballers. So you saw that whole crack
What?
crack
I'm from a
thing.
notorious block. My whole block is a project. The whole strip is project. So my block, they done did documentaries about it. It's fucking the raids from remember Public Enemy shit. I forgot that song they did about crack, and they showing some of the raids from my actual block. So you know I'm from Terrace Ave.
Okay.
So Terrace Ave, you know, it's like a notorious, like it's still littered with drugs to this day. You know what I'm saying? Terrace Ave is still a notorious block. So, like Eiht was saying, I wanted my music to feel like how we feel. Always wanted my music to be the background of how when we was out there hustling. I wanted my
That's the
album.
vibe I get from it,
That's
yeah.
it. So that was how I wanted my shit to sound, like the pissy hallways. You know, I always wake up, you know, fiends had their couches in the hallway sleeping. You know what I mean? That type of shit. You know, so I always wanted that. And even when you said cinematic, I still say that to this day. When people be like, "How you pick your beats?" I pick my beats, and I think of it like a movie. And I feel like when my beat play, I want it to feel like this the part of the movie where I walk in. This is how I want it to sound. So yeah, so the music and all of that, the drug era and all of that, that's where it comes from. Because I always wanted my shit to be the soundtrack to what we did on the block.
Yeah, man, because I know Cool G Rap. I'm going to tell you, though, who was nice from over there, man. Nobody, Granddaddy IU was a bad motherfucker,
That's
dog.
the big homie. That's
He was
the
on our
first
label.
guy.
He was
That's
on
the
a
first
label
one.
with me.
Yeah.
Back in the days when I was signed to Epic. Back in the days, Granddaddy IU was over there.
Rest in peace to Granddaddy IU. You know that's the big bro, man. He took me under the wing early when I was trying to get on, and he put me on some records and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think that's necessary, man. I think everybody should go back and do that, like once, because that mean a lot, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That mean a lot, and I'm pretty sure you picked up some jewels from him.
Yeah, man. I mean, just to have you welcome me into his home, like, you know, I understand Big Daddy IU is a cold, chilling artist. You know, that, like, to be able to, like, you know, be able to make music with him and get game from him firsthand. All of that stuff like that gave me all the confidence in the world. When somebody like you say, "Yo, Rock, you nice," you know what I'm saying? You gonna be something. That stuff like that, it fed my confidence.
That make a big ass difference.
Prodigy from my town too, even though he rep Queensbridge, you know what I'm saying? But he also rep Hempstead as well.
Yeah,
you know
rest
what
in
I'm
peace,
saying? But
Prodigy.
he grew up, he grew up around, you know, around the town too.
Yeah,
I used to
that's
see him
what
a
I
lot.
heard. You know what? Because I read his book and stuff. I'm a dude, avid book reader, right? So I read his book, especially anything about hip hop. I just make it my business to know about the culture, right?
Yeah.
So you in New York City. How the hell did you get hooked up with Carson Daly?
Oh, that's crazy. When Loud Records was still popping, like I was getting ready to do a deal with Loud Records. I had a crew called the UN. So you had Scott Free and Matty C. They was like two of the biggest A&Rs under there. So they brought Wu-Tang and, you know, Pun and all these guys over there, you know what I'm saying? So they were bringing us over to Loud at the time, and Loud folded while we was doing our deal. So Steve Rifkin, who was the owner of Loud, he had a younger brother, you know, John Rifkin, and he was clicked up with Carson Daly. So they decided they was gonna do a little label. You know what I'm saying? So we was dudes that Free and Matty C was working with. So he just brought us over to them. Like, yo, yo, these guys is nice. Yo, get them. You know what I'm saying? Get them a shot. So that's how that happened.
And that's crazy, man, because Carson Daly was huge as a motherfucker at that time. That was MTV.
Shout out to Carson too. It was crazy is because
he a
he's a
hip-hop
real
head, huh?
dude. Yeah, he's a hip hop dude. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I was still knee deep in the streets. So you know, he would hit me up out the blue. Yo, rock, what up? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, go down to Western Union, go snatch up a couple thousand. I was like, oh, this dude is. Yeah, he's official. Like, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to I don't forget shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Carson Daly, man.
Yeah,
he's a good dude, man.
It's enough horror stories, man. We definitely got to salute all the good cats. So, do you think the whole label thing is obsolete right now?
Label in what way you mean is the label?
Like I'm talking about the traditional.
Like signing to a major.
Signing to a major
definitely.
label.
If you you know, if you want to be a superstar and you want to be in the limelight on a big scale, for the most part, you still kind of need to surf on that line a little bit.
If that's your quest.
Yeah.
If your quest is to be,
You ain't gonna be Chris Brown independent.
no,
You ain't gonna be that. You ain't gonna be that.
unless you know you just one of them niggas who hit it off greatly.
Yeah.
I tell niggas this. If you fantasize of being signed to a label, you know, because there's some cats who still have that, or I'm signed to Universal, I'm signed to Def Jam, I'm signed. It's some niggas who still long for that.
Yeah.
You get me? And I don't know if it's, you know, economically a wise decision, but some dudes want that moniker.
That's the worst loan you can
ever get. I want to put on that jacket that says Def Jam on the back and walk around. I want to put on that coat that says Sony Music, and you know, because some dudes, I get it. I could be independent. Am I gonna be as big as if they did it? You get me? Because 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna even put the money behind you to
say no.
To be that, you know what I'm saying? They're
no.
not gonna drop the money, you know, on you to feel significant for putting on that jacket. You get me? You on Def Jam, but nigga, you still living on the block and shit.
But see, a dude like Drake though, he kind of eating that major label system because he getting a big chunk of money.
Yeah.
I don't know, he probably not never get nothing else off them records. You know what I mean?
There's only one Drake. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is everybody else.
Yeah, he getting a big chunk of money. So I think if you in a situation like that, it probably work for you.
Yeah.
Well, it works for a lot of say newcomer artists in that era. Like you said, there ain't gonna be another Drake come along. Just like 20 years ago, there was an Eminem who you get me? It's always
like hip hop, pop.
Yeah,
all of that shit
it's like a motherfucker making some gumbo. It ain't just, you know what you getting when you eat some greens. Yeah. You know what you getting when you eat some fried chicken.
But you could tell controlling
when a motherfucker make a pot of gumbo, everybody make they shit different, and it's all kind of shit in there.
Do you think,
get me?
This the one thing I do say. Because I look at some of these records, man, and I'm a conspiracy theorist by nature.
Me too.
I'll look at certain stuff and the record just be out in 5 minutes, and you might go on the internet, look at something, you come back, the record at 3 million views, then 5 million. I think it's a big bot game being played right now, even with the podcast, dog.
Yeah, it ain't no secret.
Even when it's a big bot game, and it's whoever got the little infrastructure to play the game the right way, because I'm going to tell you something. The way stuff is now, social currency is a real thing.
Really though.
If you go to a video that got, let's say 20,000 views, it might be the dopest shit ever. But you see this other video that got 20 million, it's gonna be a certain contingency of people that think the video that got the 20 million views is the better product.
You damn right. And that's how they turn. That's how they turn that wheel. Yeah.
That made your money though, but that's what you get when you go over to one of them big companies. They're like, "Don't worry, we're gonna guarantee you're a success." It don't always work, but when they can put that kind of money behind you, an independent artist, you can't pump millions of dollars into your marketing and promotion, but they can.
Man, let me tell you something. If you messed around and put a single out tomorrow and that motherfucker jumped up to about 70, 80 million spins by Friday,
Yeah.
they would be trying to flag your shit for something.
Oh yeah.
Even if it was super legit, they would be, oh no, there's no way.
Or they gonna pop up and try to offer you a bag. They gonna try to,
Yeah, they gonna
throw
try to
you
do
under
something,
Yeah, they gonna
yeah.
try to throw you up under the wing. You
And
know?
I could tell you, man, around when that first happened, I could say it now because I ain't snitching on nobody. But I used to sell records, right, for different people. I used to distribute Dash and them stuff overseas. I met a cat, man, that told me, hey, man, if you got an album, I can guarantee you top 10. And I just started building with him. I said, because he said, man, I'm dealing with a dude that's from Northern California, and I'm doing it for him. You send me 5,000 CDs and give me $6,000, I can guarantee you top 10. But if you want to stay top 10, like the thing, you got to keep paying.
Mm-hmm.
They would send, I guess, a certain amount of copies to all the SoundScan stores. And I'm not gonna lie, but what happened is your shit hit Billboard, you start selling more records. It was like a marketing thing at one point.
Yeah, because people see you selling and they feel like, oh shit, I got to get that. Look at it. Oh, or what? Last week it was number 20. This week it's number 13. Oh, I got to go buy that motherfucker. It's
I'm gonna tell you
it's
who
a
the master
scheme.
of that was.
It's
Master P was the master of
yeah,
that.
it's a marketing scheme.
He was the master of the marketing thing. Master P would put records that probably wasn't gonna never come out in the liner notes, and people would actually be checking for that stuff.
Right.
Damn right.
They'd be checking
It
for
just
it.
He had a lot of hustle.
it built your anticipation.
He had a lot of hustle. Let me ask you this, man. Was you around? What was the vibe in New York? Because I almost know the answer when the whole East Coast, West Coast shenanigans shit was going down. What was the vibe over there? Nobody gave a fuck about it, did they?
That's what's crazy. In the streets, I felt like the industry, they took control of the narrative. Because in the streets, we loved the West Coast music. Like when I was a kid, I remember we got our hands on West Coast music and how raw niggas was with it and how they was talking. Man, we was playing that shit like, because that, to me, that represents a time like when, we were first jumping off the porch. And, even though we loved our lyrical artists, but to just hear motherfuckers talking about, NWA, they kidnapping hoes on the records, shooting bitches in the car. Like, it was just like some shit we ain't never heard. So we really was fucking with West Coast music real hard. And I felt like the industry took control of the narrative and try to make it, they put a lot of smut on the game and made it seem like, it was some type of like hate or animosity on the East Coast, but it wasn't like that in the streets.
And it wasn't like that in the streets out here. That's the funny thing. That's why I asked, because the funny thing is, when that whole thing was going down, I used to wonder, who the hell got beef? Because I'm still going to listen to whoever the fuck I want to listen to. I was banging the shit out of Biggie.
It wasn't, I don't even think it was, like everybody, like, you have to see that it was really, like you said, the media and people of outside who really wanted to spin that narrative because it sold magazines, it kept reports going of East Coast, West Coast. But it was two motherfucking, it's just like it was two hoods beefing with each other.
That's all
It wasn't a whole city beefing, you get me? It was two hoods beefing with each other. And it just happened to be, it was a hood on the East Coast and it was a hood on, and I'm saying that in representation to the record labels. You get me?
Right.
It wasn't like,
They made a bag of money off all that shit.
Damn sure did.
it wasn't like every motherfucking, nigga in the hood over here was like, nigga, we just gonna jump on the plane and go to New York and just, nigga, I was still doing shit with niggas from New York. I never had an issue, ever. And I've been going over there since I first started rapping.
It ain't real. It wasn't real.
I never had an issue going to New York. Nigga, going to record stores and clubs and everything.
Love,
and
right?
never had an issue.
Showing love.
Like, never.
That's what I'm saying.
Cali, our second biggest market.
Yeah,
You know what
all
I'm saying? And
that's what I'm saying.
like my shit, we make music like New York make music. And it's like my second biggest market. So I get a lot of love out here. So people, Like, you know, that to me, I felt like it's not reflecting what the streets and the people are saying. It was all industry shit.
But no, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a lot of narratives that get spun, and even with the way the internet is right now, man, it's a lot of foolishness. So you gotta kind of dig through it. And again, social currency is the biggest thing. Is let me tell you this: you can ask a kid right now. If you ask a 15-year-old kid, I got $10,000 in this bag for you right now. Or I got a fully automated Instagram page with your name on it already. It got 1 million followers already. You know what he go pick? He go say, man, give me the Instagram
I want that page. Yeah,
Give me
nigga.
that Instagram page. I'm popping already.
That's 1 million people looking at me.
Even if the million people are fake too.
Yeah, they don't give a
If the million
fuck.
people are genuinely fuck with you, then there is some money there. There's business there if it's really 1 million people that fuck with you. But if they just like, oh, I'm gonna give you 1 million followers with the blue check, but these people really don't know who the fuck you are. Nah, that ain't it. But you can make money off of your, you know, like anybody. You know, if you have a following, you have a big following, you can make money. So I think a lot of people that with the social currency thing, they get it twisted because they think just because they making a fool of themselves that people really fuck with them. They more laughing at you than they are like. You know,
Well, that's
fans
what
of
I'm
what you
saying,
do.
man, because there's a lot of dudes crashing out right now. There's a lot of dudes crashing out right now because they want to be, I don't even know if it's so much for the money, bro. I think they just want to be noticed. They just want to be
Yeah, that's
noticed.
the main focus.
Yeah.
The main focus is to get people watching. It's like sometimes, you know, like you said, this game ain't what everybody think it is. It takes a lot to make a decent dollar. But I don't even think it's about the money. A lot of niggas just want to be, I want to be seen and just heard. Like that's what makes popularity now. If I'm just seen and niggas is coming to my page and, you know, it don't matter what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm be talking about some of the craziest, outlandish, wild shit. But I want motherfuckers to come and watch me. So, hey, that's why I said the other day, there's no code anymore. You see niggas who you thought was the hardest of hardest gangsters and shit. Nigga on the microphones right now, spitting like a motherfucking brand new MC. You
Yeah, 'cause
feel
I'm
me?
gonna tell you, man, it's certain groups that when you first hear them, like when I first heard Wu-Tang Clan, I knew they was gonna be out of here.
Yeah.
Like when I first heard Cash Rules Everything Around Me, Cream Get the Money, I said, man, this is the coldest shit I've heard. And I think because they was from Long Island.
No, they from Staten
Staten.
Island.
Staten Island,
Yeah.
my bad, from
Crazy as
Staten Island.
Meth moved to Staten Island. Meth from my block too. Meth from he from Terrace Ave.
Is that right?
Yeah, Meth from my projects.
Is that right? So
Yeah.
I'm not real knowledgeable about the boroughs. So directly Hempstead is kind of like Brooklyn, right?
Hempstead is Long Island.
Long Island,
Yeah,
it's
Hempstead
Long
is
Island.
Long Island, yup.
But Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens,
All connected.
that's all kind of
all
connected, right?
connected.
Yeah, it's all, yeah.
For me to drive into Queens from Hempstead, 20-minute drive, 10, 20-minute drive. Just like how LA is. Like, you know, everything like a 20-minute drive. You could just dip over here, like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for real.
Quick. Yeah.
Unless you living way out, like, you know, the IE.
Long Island big though. If you like out far, like out east of Long Island, then yeah, you might have to drive an hour or so. But you know, I'm from Nassau County, so that's more closer to Queens.
So the Wu was kind of like, they was like outsiders almost, right?
Yeah, Staten Island, because you gotta get on a boat to go to Staten Island. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, like you gotta jump on a ferry. So they was like, you know, Staten Island was a little out the way. So when they came in, it was just like, damn, these niggas from Staten Island is like.
So Staten
Taking
Island
over?
would be like the IE niggas then. They would be like the IE, because you know we got the Inland Empire right there.
Yeah.
You got a lot of cats out there that get real busy.
Oh, definitely.
But they in their own little, you know,
Yeah.
you got the shout out to Dirty Birdie, Doggy Style Lee, and all of them. You know, they
Yeah,
out there doing their
definitely,
thing. You know,
Definitely.
they out there doing their thing.
Definitely. And the Staten Island, that was the first time they kind of like, that was like our first whiff for some brothers from Staten Island.
Right.
Like Long Island been shaking since the 80s. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Niggas from the island been shaking since the
EPMD
80s.
and all,
Yeah,
yeah.
Rock Kemp,
Yeah.
PE, all of that. So, you know, De La Soul, you know, all of that, MF Doom. So we done had cats since the 80s.
Yeah,
So
lot,
when they
yeah.
came, it was like, oh shit, we ain't never hear what Staten Island had to bring to the table.
Was mainland like New York really fucking with them when they first came out?
What, Wu?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wu took over. It wasn't no it wasn't. I don't remember there being no resistance.
It could be no
When
resistance,
Protect Your
no
Neck
hate.
came out, I was like, "Oh, this is some shit we
Because
never heard or saw before."
it's like when it's like when music changes. We all go through the transition of changes with hip hop. Hip hop started for us on the electronic tip, funk type shit. Then it went to the Tone Lokes and the Young MCs and the shit like that, and the Wrecking Crews and the motherfucking that type of shit. And it transitioned over into the streets with Tila and Ice-T. So people have their transitions, and even New York. New York went through we had the Rock Kims, the first LLs, the Run DMCs, and then we started switching over, and then you had that era where, everybody wanted to make the clubby, let's drink
Puffy and them,
let's drink Cristal and money shit.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang was that fresh breath of air.
Yeah, because
They
was the
some
antithesis
motherfucking
to all that shiny
niggas.
suit shit.
Right. It's just some regular niggas from the
dirty
block
niggas.
speaking
Yeah,
about the
on some
block
dirty
and
nigga
dirty
shit,
life.
like-
You get me?
They ain't have new
Like
clothes on.
Like my nigga was saying. They speaking on the pissy hallways type of shit. Like
Right.
the shit that brought us into the game. But we ain't seen that shit for a while because everybody running around this motherfucking shiny suits with Cristal bottles and shit.
And 100 niggas together.
Yeah.
That was another thing about the Wu. They was deep. They came in the game like everywhere they went. It was like 100 of them niggas. And mind you too, I can't
I heard
just
they was
give
with the
Staten
bullshit.
Island. The Wu is Staten Island and Brooklyn, cause Jizza and Dirty, them niggas from Brooklyn. Master Killer, they from Brooklyn. So they was definitely a mixture.
Old dirty bastard. I remember I saw that fool in New Orleans walking around with his shirt off.
That was my
And
people.
didn't even know it was him, dog. We in New Orleans bailing, and this nigga got his shirt off. He just running down the street, singing like really singing some soulfully, like Al Green. Run down the street just singing Al Green with his shirt off, and I'm like, is that him?
My nigga Dirty was in Compton and everything. My nigga that was my nigga. He I did a song with Dirty, used to hang out when I went to when I went to Staten Island and was in the Can It All Be So Simple video. Niggas was just
Yeah, he
regular
was in that
niggas.
shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
niggas was just regular niggas.
You was in the
man.
motherfucking Wu-Tang movie too. I told you the
Yeah,
series.
you told me that shit.
That shit fucked me up because I'm sitting up there watching. I always go back and revisit shit I watched, right? Because you always see something new. They had the new music seminar, and they got this nigga playing MC Eiht. It was like, man, I saw you in Menace, man. That shit was hard.
Yeah,
and you was
them
like,
was my
yeah,
niggas, man.
you got to come to Compton to fuck with a nigga.
Oh yeah, them was my niggas. So.
New York fuck with.
Oh yeah. That used to be
that.
my spot,
Yeah,
man.
we fuck
I had
with
a gang
Eiht
of
tough.
niggas, man. I used to fuck
Yeah.
with in New York. Still do.
Yeah.
Man, he got a big ass bass out there. So and you actually got to fuck with the Wu on some shit, didn't you?
Yeah, I did some joints with Brothers in the Wu. Early on, actually, Busta, on one of his albums, I'm on a joint with him, Ghost and Ray, on his Anarchy album. I need my plaque, too, for that, Busta. Send me my gold record. It might be platinum by now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I done worked with quite a few brothers in the Wu. I done worked with Jizza, you know what I'm saying? I'm on his album. Like, I love the Wu, so...
Let me ask you this, man, and keep it all the way a beam, man. Keep it all the way 1,000, dog. We all fans of this shit, right? We all fans of hip hop.
Right.
Did you ever have a feature with somebody and it kind of fucked you up? Like, I can't believe I'm making a song with this nigga.
I mean, moments like those, like, Ghost and Ray.
Yeah, because you with Ghost
moments
and Ray,
like
and that's
those is
prime,
like-
and that's
yeah,
prime Ghost and Ray.
You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
yeah, moments like that was like, oh shit, like you saying, we talking about the bench and and me being pulled up off the bench for that. Like out of everybody Busta had, like yo, I'm pull Rock up off of the bench for this one. So that one, even when I first got in the studio and working with like Pete Rock, You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
When I
yeah.
first
You was
started
signed to
working
Pete
with
Rock for a minute, wasn't you?
Nah, we was just
That was
making
one of my
music together.
favorites too.
Yeah,
Man,
but
how is you,
making
man?
music
You a
with
lucky
Pete,
motherfucker, dog. Can you
Yeah.
imagine the nigga got Pete Rock beats at his disposal?
Yeah, it
I
was
talked to
definitely.
Pete. Pete is one of them dudes, man. I got a song with Pete Rock.
Yeah.
Pete got some.
Yeah,
Heat
okay,
rock.
Soul
that
Survivor,
Soul Survivor,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
fire. Yeah, so you know the work with, cause I grew up like, you know, big fans of these brothers. So to work with Large Professor,
Man, another
Large
favorite.
Professor's a
Large
hard motherfucker.
Man.
Yeah, Large Professor. So
Main Source was the shit,
Tip,
man.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so working with Tip, that was also like, you know, to me, this stuff like this was
You
like a
talking
dream
all
come
my
true.
favorites now, man. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that music for me is time capsules. Because when I hear
Breaking
that,
Adams, man.
yeah,
what was
because
it,
when
man?
I hear looking at the front door, bro,
Mm-hmm.
that boom 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 boom. When
That
I hear
wasn't
that,
even my
I think
favorite,
about
though.
me and my wife.
Mm.
'Cause we married now. I've been married for 30-some years. That was my girlfriend right there. And that song used to remind of us. Cause I'll be breaking up with her and shit. We like, you know what? I'm done with your ass.
Yeah.
And next thing you know,
We back
we
together.
back together again. You know what I mean? And
That cuts on that album.
I'm
man.
looking at the front.
Friendly game of baseball.
Yeah, Breaking Adams was a classic.
Just
Y'all
hang,
flipped the friendly game of baseball. shit,
just
too.
hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used we used that for Drive By Miss
Miss
Daisy.
Daisy.
It was friendly game of
Piano,
baseball.
like,
Yeah.
how'd y'all do that piano shit, though?
That was live. That was my nigga
Talk
Willie
about
Z.
cinematic, that's
That was
crazy.
my nigga Willie Z.
That's what
We had Willie Z, and then we had excerpts from Scarface.
Yeah.
Remember when the
woman
nigga,
crying,
yeah,
Gina.
Gina was crying. That was her on there.
That's my shit. Yeah,
You
I'm
know what's
about
crazy,
that later.
dog? That's what I had to ask this nigga when I first started fucking with him. Who the hell was playing that piano? Because he had the one song,
Willie
you had
Z,
the one
nigga.
shit with the
Shout out to Willie
Gangsters Make
Z,
the World Go
bodied
Round.
that.
You be vibing, just mobbing. I had some 808s in my, I had some Falls Gates in my trunk back then, and my Maxima.
At the end, it switch up,
And it just
he
switch
get the
up.
paint, and yeah,
And it push up. Now you be
Miss
just
them elements of music. How
Yeah,
y'all had a pianist come in and just take
I used
it
to
away.
play all my shit live. I never sampled anything. I would listen to shit, and what I would really do is how I would create music is the niggas would tell you. I used to ride around on tour with a mini tape recorder, and I would get ideas in my head, and I would just hum them into the tape recorder, and then I come back home and get with Willie Z and play him the tape, and all that shit I would hum, he just start. And bingo, that's how we created beats.
He was a bad motherfucker. Because I'm going to tell you, when Gangsters Make the World Come Around, you mobbing and it's just real cinematic.
Yeah.
And then it just break down like that. And it's just like, man, that's hard right there.
Yeah.
That's why I always said my music. I always wanted that element, that cinematic, like, oh man, these niggas just killed up, or the whole shit just blew up, or that part where the niggas is finna come kill and they sneaking in, and that music is, and you like, oh, somebody about to get fucked up.
Yeah, it sound real ominous.
That's my shit.
And then the piano come in and this nigga come on, she had Compton's in the house. And it's like, that's why that shit's so hard, man.
I wanted my shit, I didn't, like I said, I didn't want niggas riding around, not to say it, but I didn't want niggas riding around happy to my shit.
Right.
Like, nigga, no, this is not for you. This music is not for you. And I used to
wonder
tell
how many niggas got fucked off listening to some MC Eiht shit back in the day.
Lot
Some
of
Compton's
niggas.
A lot of
motherfucking
niggas.
shit.
Nigga, when I
shit
go to
is-
towns and niggas is still, them towns, the Clevelands, the Detroits, the Chicagos, the motherfuckers be like, nigga,
Man, y'all
you
niggas was
just
brave,
do not
man, 'cause
know
Y'all was
what
gangster
the fuck.
but experimental. That's
Like,
what I loved
yeah.
about it.
You niggas do that nigga, you used to, man, we went on, niggas tell me all the time, we did plenty of dirt off your motherfucking tape. We did plenty of dirt, nigga, off of your tape. Nigga, your tape got me, nigga, man, you just do not know what we used to do off that music to drive by.
Hell yeah. And then when your name got MC in it, because I know I come from the day, if you got that MC in your name, that means you a rapping motherfucker.
Well, that's because, we prided ourselves back then on that, the DJ and the MC. My era was that. the DJ, the MC this, MC. That's why you see a lot of niggas from my area with MC in there. MC Shan, MC Ran, you know, Young MC, you know what I'm saying? MC Eiht. We prided ourselves on that MC because that meant you knew how to move the crowd. That meant you was the microphone, the master of ceremony. You know, that's that mic.
It
You
meant
feel
more.
me?
Back in them days, your hood had to like sanction you to just rap. Everybody back in them days couldn't rap. You would have people that would rap, niggas would tell you, nah, chill, that ain't for you. Back in them times, like the hood, I felt like we selected certain artists. Like some cats.
So you had
Ain't wanna
niggas
hear
trying to
them
come out
rhyme.
the apartment trying to rhyme, and y'all shut them down.
I think back in
Got 'em.
our days, niggas looked at that like, oh no, nigga, because it was like, nigga, you right here in the hood with me. You go through the same experiences, but niggas just like, nigga, that's a gift.
Oh yeah, we would
That's
tell
a
motherfuckers.
gift.
We
That's
would
a
for sure
gift,
tell
nigga.
motherfuckers they was boo boo. Like, man, that shit trash.
Yeah.
Right, like niggas who knew they shouldn't be rapping. Like you had your certain motherfuckers who thought they could pick up the mic, but then niggas who you had regular niggas who like, man, I don't know how y'all do that shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that shit for nothing.
Yeah, like the whole MCing thing today is so different. Like, and I don't, it's old now, but the Drake and Kendrick battle, right?
Yeah.
That shit got almost to the point to where it was overkill after a while. I was like, cause Dot is my man. I love K Dot, but I was like, man, I don't want to hear no more records.
Yeah.
Cause it's like they was just coming back and forth so
Yeah.
quick, man. You never even got a chance to breathe on them.
Yeah. That was the first. I had never seen a battle keep rolling over like that. That was crazy.
Yeah, and you fuck with Dot on some shit, didn't you?
Crazy. Yeah, actually, yeah, we did. We did a joint for the homie Consequence put us on a record back in the days. You know what I'm saying? This was when Dot was first getting started. Yeah, that's crazy. You reminded me. Yeah, me and Dot are on a song together.
Yeah, man, I be having to do my research.
Yeah,
though.
Other
yeah,
thing,
we ain't
but
got on a joint
I
together,
think,
yeah.
man, and then back in our era, man, it seemed like dissing was more fun because you anticipated a fun, nice record. You get me? I think with Drake and Kendrick battle, man, it got to the point to where niggas was like, damn, my brain hurt. Like, I'm tired of motherfucking, like, nigga, like, you going to class for motherfucking regular math and a nigga threw some motherfucking calculus in front of you. And niggas opened the
It was
book
a lot.
and was
I
like,
enjoyed it though. I ain't gonna front. I think it was the illest battle ever. 'Cause
You know what I enjoyed?
that was a
like
lot.
motherfucker, dog. And what really tripped me out for, you know how you get to see a dude kind of fulfill his dream? I knew Dot, man. I'm gonna tell you a story about K Dot, and you can't dispute this, Dot. You remember how we used to wear the Dolce and Gabbana shades, like back in the 2003s and I'm real cool with Punch and Top, and you know they over at the spot in Carson. I left my sunglasses over there, and I paid like $1,200 for them glasses. So I'm like, fuck, I left my glasses, because you know if you leave your glasses in the studio, some nigga go wind up wearing them motherfuckers.
wind up, them motherfuckers is stolen.
Yeah, so I see K-Dot, he in the studio, maybe like they went somewhere, I think they went on the road with Game or something. He come back, I come back, I see him with my glasses, them motherfuckers is all scratched up and everything, and I'm like, man, what you do to my glasses, bro? Oh, my bad. And then I just remember funny stuff with Dot. Like, Dot wouldn't have no belt, and he'd be using his shoestring. And I say, man, now that motherfucker go buy any Gucci belt, every Gucci belt in the motherfucking mall he want.
They don't give a fuck. They just rock a shoestring. Like,
But I always knew that nigga was nice.
yeah, nah, he's super nice. He's
I always knew he was
super
nice, though.
Yeah, he's super nice. I mean, shit. I mean, you know, that's what this shit is all about, man. I mean, sparring was how we came up. Like I was saying earlier, like back in the days, there only be somebody from the hood. Like the hood maybe had 1, 2 people back in the days that somebody pull up talking about they gonna rhyme. I was definitely one of them people like, oh, word, y'all think y'all got somebody nice? Oh, yo, let's go get rock. Go get rock.
Oh, so
Rock-
your people
rock
will
and
put you
handle.
up against other people?
Yeah, or we go to other hoods and shit like that. You're like, yo, y'all think y'all got niggas that get busy? All right, cool. We go over there and, you know, and clean them niggas up. And
That's
that's,
what
how
X
you
said
make
the
your
death
name.
row niggas was doing.
That's how you make your name back in them days.
That's what I used to do in high school.
You just go around,
I
you
used to
just,
go to other schools and battle niggas. That's how me and Snoop battled each other at the park one day in high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to just go around. I used to just go around battling niggas.
Snoop had
Who won that
freestyle.
battle? Who won that one?
I couldn't say. We both got down.
Nice.
You know, and Chill was my beatbox. So yeah, we used to go around just battling niggas.
And Snoop was just out there. Snoop had freestyles like a motherfucker.
Definitely.
Snoop used to walk around Poly High School with a ghetto blaster. Well, you know them big boom
definitely.
boxes, the big boom boxes like Radio Raheem,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had me one too, nigga. A Lasonic, nigga.
a little Sonic
Bang
with
it,
the lights
nigga.
and shit on them.
Lights and the
I had a
EQ
Lasonic,
lights
I
on that
think, yeah.
motherfucker too, nigga.
I had a little Sonic, man. I went through all them little phases, man, where I would get the because they wasn't playing a lot of hip hop on the radio, but they started getting little specialty shows on Friday night and Saturday night. That's when you would tape them.
That's how I used to make my tapes. I used to listen to the end of the radio station, the college radio stations, and make tapes. And that's how I ended up hanging out with like a lot of the, a lot of the older brothers and shit used to, bring me on like missions going out to Harlem and shit like that. So I saw a lot young because I would make them tapes. It's like, damn, we gotta bring Rock. Rock done stayed up and made them damn tapes. So you want to ride around and hear the new shit? I had the tapes.
Man, so since you a real lyricist, man, who is the illest MC ever to come out of Hempstead?
Hempstead? Whew. Out of Hempstead, I gotta say Prodigy, man.
Prodigy was underrated, man.
I
Like,
gotta say P.
yeah, he was hard, man. It was at one time, man, motherfuckers was talking about him like he was the best rapper
No,
in the game.
there was an era when P was top dog.
I try to tell people that it was an era. He got rhymes, man.
Yeah, he had an era where he was top dog.
Mobb Deep wasn't no joke.
Mobb Deep was hard. You know what, dog? I'm gonna tell you that's who your antithesis is. CMW and Mobb Deep. Because both of y'all was dark as hell. A CMW Mobb album would have been hard.
Yeah.
That'd have been so motherfucking
That
hard.
song with Havoc.
You do?
Yeah.
I met them doing my
We
first
probably need to holler
demo
at him.
at 510 Studios. I met them when I was in junior high school. I was in junior high school, and one of the Bomb Squad Underlink members, he used to make beats. He still make beats. Shout out to Sleek, Kerwin Young. But he used to let us come to the studio and make music. So one day after school, we went to 510 Studios, and our session ended up getting interrupted by Mobb Deep. I think they was Poetical Prophets at the time.
Yeah, that's when they was, that's the Poetical
and they had a
Prophets.
deal. I remember me and my boy, we in fucking junior high school, we like, how these niggas got a record deal? We had no idea how to get a record deal. But they had a record deal. I remember they had new Jordans on and you know what I'm saying, they was chilling. You could tell like
Who
they
did you
caught
want to
a
be
little
signed?
check.
Did you want to be signed to Def Jam?
Hell, I mean, back in them days, hell yeah, that
I
would have
think
been a
everybody
dream.
wanted to
Yeah.
be signed to Def Jam.
Everybody wanted that Def Jam
that'll
coat,
cold
nigga.
chilling.
Cold chilling, yeah. That's what I was
that'll
gonna say, cold chilling.
Yeah, that'll cold chilling. That'd have been beautiful.
That was nigga. I don't give a fuck where you was, nigga. If you was a MC back in them times, your dream was to be signed to Def. Come on, man.
Hell yeah.
Niggas had Public Enemy, LL.
Did you ever have an opportunity to sign to Def Jam?
Nah, I never had it. 'Cause I signed to Sony, and once I was with Sony, that was it. I felt like shit. Who can get bigger than Michael
Think
Jackson?
it's a subsidiary.
Who can get bigger than
Michael
that.
Jackson, hell yeah.
And I'm on the label with Michael, Sade, and Pearl Jam. Nigga, I felt, nigga, we got bread over here. So I felt like, nigga, but they never experienced with hip hop. They didn't know what the fuck to do with
Well, you was
Compton's Most
profitable.
Wanted.
You was profitable for them because y'all.
Yeah, as far-
y'all had three straight gold albums.
No, probably. I don't know. I know our first album, that was with Capitol though. And we, like you said, we got caught up in the label fold and shit. So our first album, It's a Compton Thing, was one of those situations where the record came out right when they was like, basically, while they was closing the doors, the boxes was going out the back door. You feel me? And so there was nobody left to promote the record. And it's still like, nigga, I think our first record is Compton's Most Wanted, sold about 200 and something thousand copies. So that made Epic go, shit. These niggas can do 250.
That's a lot of money.
with no promotion.
Nigga, we didn't have nothing.
On a failed label.
I had one video, one time gaffled them up.
That was a big record out here, though.
It was out here. It definitely was.
That's my shit.
So with that, the late Epic was like shit, but they didn't know what to do with hip hop. They was trying, but you still got a bunch of motherfuckers who ain't experienced in hip hop trying to run a hip hop label.
Hell yeah. Well, right now, you the boss of your own shit, right?
Yeah.
No major distribution in the background or nothing?
I mean, I got distribution now. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm rocking with Equity.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did a situation with Equity, so they doing my distribution.
That's good. That's Jay and all of them, right? It's Jay and them. Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's some good shit, but you get to run your own plays now.
Yeah, I'm still my own label, you know what I'm saying? We call all the shots and you know, it's still the same thing. We just have more help now. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Yeah, we got a little help now. But still everything, how I want to spend budgets and how I want to market and promote, that's all on me. I call all of the shots.
That's what we looking to do now with this next Eiht album, looking for the right situation to where you can have, because you need, to me, when you artists of y'all caliber especially, you need somebody on the inside of the label that's going to do a little work.
Right.
Not necessarily to run the whole play, because that's why you got brothers like me and Doughboy and stuff like that to go, you know, run little other plays, but you need somebody up in there to make sure, let's make sure he get this playlist, and let's make sure he get this as the song of the day on Apple.
Get you in them algorithms.
You feel what I'm saying? Get you up in the algorithms, you right, and you know, get on certain things, or you not go win. That's what I tell people. I was talking to one of my homies. He was like, well, I'm just gonna put the next album out through TuneCore. I said, don't do that. You go fuck that man's career up. I said, because there's no label services over there.
Yeah.
All they go do is take your $99 and you need some, because nowadays with this streaming shit, Eiht might really go in the studio and do a song with Kendrick. But the way this shit is, Spotify might not put the shit up. And you coming out with your whole campaign and they ain't got the shit on the platform because they're not sure if it's clear. Everybody's so litigious nowadays and worried about somebody suing them. You need somebody that can call and say, hey, that's legit. Let me send you this paper over here, you know. And you got, it's different now, man.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you still can run it up if you go through one of those other sites, but you still gotta have some type of marketing money on your own, or have some kind of platform to make sure that it's noticed. Because
Right.
they can't, you know, if you just going through like a TuneCore, a DistroKid or whatever, they not gonna make sure your shit is at the top when they say new hip hop albums and things of that nature. You ain't gonna get none of them
Oh,
services.
no, because I'm gonna tell you this, TuneCore and them other people only interested in one thing, and that's that $39.99 or that $99.99 or
facts.
whatever you
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah.
Oh, you got distribution, not everybody. You got distribution.
Your shit gonna be everywhere.
But when you with an Empire or Equity, or, even the shit they got, the video and all them other people, you gonna have a chance to
It's
win.
a difference.
It's like that's
I've
the new
noticed
major label now.
because I used to upload my shit myself and all of that. So I do notice the difference, you know what I'm saying? Even though I was making some money, you know what I'm saying? But I also had a brand, a quality brand that people
Right.
could trust. So it wasn't like I was just coming in there off
you
the street.
You not a brand new
I
artist.
wasn't
You know what
coming
I'm
in off the
saying?
street like that, but I was noticing, like, you know, when people, you do a situation with Empire or Equity or whatever, you know what I'm saying? These places now you can make sure you can muscle your way a little bit more up in the algorithm of your video play. Like, take for instance, if 8 video play, it ain't no coincidence that Kendrick shit come on after your shit just automatically. They make sure that you get them spots. So when you just forget you playing something and then something just plays on afterward, somebody pulled the play to make sure that that's what's playing next and got them in that algorithm. So that's what's important, to make sure you don't forget.
Man, what's next on the horizon, bro? What's the big move?
My next, I'm working on another project. I'm about to tour next month. You know, I'm just doing a lot. I'm about to do a project with producer joint for my man Knowledge the Pirate. He's next. I got another artist, Great God. He's coming next. After that, I'm producing a joint for TF.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you gonna get one on the Eiht album, right? We gonna get that ROC
I'm looking
MARCIANO
forward
MC
to
Eiht.
that. I'm looking
definitely,
forward to that.
definitely.
That's a fact. So yeah, so we doing that. I got a few albums that's that I'm also working on with other producers, but yeah, I'm gonna do another one with Worthy. Because a
That's
lot of people
official.
don't know my producing hand. Because a lot of like with the sound that I helped bring back and pioneer, so a lot of people think it's just like me on the mic. Nah, I did a lot of the production.
That's dope.
So I'm really ready to start getting my production hand out there more.
Let me ask you
That's
this:
what I be doing.
would you say as a producer that it's a lot easier nowadays?
I would say it's definitely a lot easier for an unknown producer because now you could just hit somebody on social media.
What I mean is like as far as like the technical stuff, because I come from the era to where you had an SP1200 and you might only had 3 seconds of sampling time.
Oh, yeah.
And now you can go, like I said, to a website and get the whole stems to love and happiness right now.
You can't
and
compare
you got everything, all the Al Green, so that organ is in there. That
can't compare it.
You can go snatch that if you want to.
Yeah, you can't compare the times. The stems just took it to a whole nother level. But I started off with an MPC. I still use an MPC 2500.
I use an MPC too, but I use the one that's in the computer. And I got the external
Live or
pad,
something
the
like that?
MPC
Yeah.
Live, yep. I like that, man, because you get the same feel, and they got them filters in there now. They got an SP1200 filter that's crazy, so if you want to run, like the thing is, you get that Al Green thing, you might still want that warm sound on there, that warm analog sound on there.
Yeah, I'm old fashioned with it.
Yeah, man.
I'm still using MP, even though the computers do everything and all of
Right.
that shit. I still use the MP. I love the sound.
For sure, since I know you on the coast, man, now, you definitely gonna have to stop by this motherfucker again. We really enjoyed having you on, man.
Yes, indeed.
I'll back up on y'all for sure.
And we enjoyed
So
it,
I drop
man.
my new shit. And
Yes,
when me and
indeed.
Eiht get in there and cut the fuck up.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. That's a must.
Yeah.
Where can the people text you on the shoulder at?
Oh man, you want to hit me up? Just hit me up on rockmarcy.com, rockmarcy on Instagram, YouTube, all of that. Just tap in. You know what I'm saying?
And there we is. That's another episode. We holler at y'all next week.
Yeah.
Gangster Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangster Chronicles, this is not your average show.